Hello dear students, welcome to my English literature class. Today's topic is the Old English period, also known as the Anglo-Saxon period. This period is important because it makes the beginning of English literature and language. Time period of the Old English. The Old English period begins in 450 AD and ends in 1066 AD. It starts with the settlement of the Anglo-Saxons in England and ends with the Norman conquest under William the Conqueror. Other names of the period are Anglo-Saxon Age, early medieval period. The historical background of the period. After the Romans left Britain, three Germanic tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, came to England around 450 AD. They formed several kingdoms such as Wessex, Mercia, Northumbria, Kent. Their culture was based on war, heroism, loyalty, and kinship. In 597 AD, Christianity came to England through Saint Augustine. This changed education and literature and encouraged writing in monasteries. The language of the period. The language of this period is Old English, also called Anglo-Saxon. Old English is a very different from modern English and is not easily understood today. It is a highly inflected language. The vocabulary is mainly Germanic with some Latin words added later through Christianity. Oral tradition. Poems were memorized and performed by scopes. Scopes means who were poet singers in a royal courts. They were called scopes. Later, monks wrote down these poems in manuscripts. Old English poetry has a special characters. Use of alliteration instead of rhyme. Each line has a phrase called caesura, use of kennings or compound expressions, strong rhythm, and stress use of repetitions. Common poetic themes include heroism, war, fate, or you can call fate to wed, loyalty, religion. Important manuscripts. Many Old English poems survive in four major manuscripts. The Novel Codex, which contains Beowulf. Beowulf is the greatest epic of the Old English period. The Exeter book, which includes riddles and religious poems. The Vercelli book, which contains religious poetry. The fourth one, Junius manuscript, which includes biblical poems. These manuscripts are very important source of Old English literature. Major works and poems. The first one, Beowulf. Beowulf is the greatest epic poem of this period. The poet is unknown. We cannot find who has written this Beowulf. He is unknown. It tells the story of the hero, Beowulf, who defeats the monster Grendel. Later again he defeats Grendel's mother and a dragon also. The poem combines pagan heroism with Christian values. Other important poems. The Wanderer, a lyric poem about exile, loneliness, and loss. Next, The Seafarer describes a life at sea and spiritual struggle. The Wife's Lament. The poem talks about expressing sorrow and separation. Next poem, The Dream of the Rood, a religious poem describing Christ's crucifixion. Widsith, a poem about a traveling poet and heroic legends. The next one, The Battle of Maldon, a heroic poem about loyalty and courage in a battle. The Battle of Brunanburg, sorry, Brunanburg. It celebrates an English victory in a war. Next, religious and biblical poetry. Religious poetry became important after the spread of Christianity. Biblical poems include Genesis, Exodus, Daniel, and Christ Satan. These poems are found in Julius manuscript. The important poets and writers of the time. First one, Cadman. Cadman is regarded as the first English poet. He was an illiterate cowherd who received poetic inspiration. His famous work is Cadman's Hymn. He wrote biblical and religious poetry also. Beowulf is one of the few named poets. He signed his poems using runic letters. Important works include Christ, Ellen, Juliana, the Fates of the Apostles. His poetry reflects strong Christian faith. Next one, Bede. Bede was a scholar, historian, and a monk. His real name is Venerable Bede. His famous work is Ecclesiastical History of English People. He is known as a father of English history. So if you are asked who is the father of English history, you can call Bede. Next writer is King Alfred the Great. King Alfred promoted education and learning. He translated important Latin works into Old English, including Pastoral Care, Consolation of Philosophy. He supported the Anglo-Saxon chronicles. Next writer, the prose writer, Ulfric and Ulfstan. Ulfric was an important prose writer. He wrote religious sermons called homilies. He also wrote lives of saints. Ulfstan. Ulfstan was a church leader and a writer. His famous prose work is Sermo Lupi and Anglos, which warns people against sin. Next, prose writer and prose writings. Old English prose developed mainly after poetry. Prose works include religious sermons, translations, historical records, laws, and educational texts. Important prose works include Anglo-Saxon chronicles, homilies, lives of saints. Important concepts. What are the concepts that we have to remember in this period? Old English poetry is alliterative. Rhyme is not common. Heroic code values bravery and royalty. Fate is called weird. Christian and pagan ideas coexist. Literature was preserved in manuscripts. The end of the period. The Old English period ends in 1166 with the Norman conquest. William Normandy who conquered, who attacked on the people, and then the French rule was started. The French language and culture entered England. This led to the beginning of the Middle English period. Conclusion. To conclude, Old English literature is rich in heroic poetry, religious writing, and historical prose. It forms the foundation of English language and literature. So students, now I am going to conclude my class. If this lesson helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we will study another period. Thank you for watching. Thank you once again.